more about that towards the end. There's also there's Palace City, isn't there, in the football as well, so there's quite a lot of sport going on this afternoon, isn't there?
And there's also on the PDC darts front, there's Players Championship 11, which is probably coming to its final stages at 5:15. It may in fact be over.
I don't understand how darts has been able to make itself, obviously I know because Mr. Hearn's involved, but how it's managed to get itself such this sort of cult viewing. You see all the beard up people in alley pally going moo, 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 and dancing and beer swinging around everywhere. It just is absolutely beyond me, but I am starting to sound like a bit of an old chuntering man moaning about the fact that darts is now a spectator sports that's on Sky. So moving swiftly away from that, Knuckle is still doing lots of technology and sorting out here. He is everybody's IT hero. We are going to go through some county championship scores. So we have bear with me, I need to update everything that's going on here. I was about to read you the result from Southampton about a week ago, and I was like, hang on a minute, Essex are playing Surrey, so let's have
a quick talk about how everybody out there can support Guerrilla Cricket. If you go to patreon.com/Guerrilla Cricket, you can give us your fucking money. $2 a month gets you our undying gratitude. $10 or more a month will get you a regular shout out.
In fact, it'll get you on the scroll of honour that runs along the bottom of our video feed. You see them scrolling away there just under our lovely faces, and that'll be scrolling through the entirety of play. Hundreds of you have given us your contributions over the years that we've been running the Patreon scheme, and we are thoroughly grateful for all of your donations. Let's tell you in musical form.
We need your money. Alternative cricket commentary, bringing you laughs, bringing you jingles, bringing you joy. We are Gorillas. We need your money. Patreon.com/Gorilla Cricket.
Okay, so we're going to read you out some county championship results. For some strange reason, I keep on bringing up county championship fixtures from about a week ago. I think my iPad's on holiday at the moment. It's just sort of trying to get in the game. So bear with me a moment while we try and get this rocking and rolling. Jamie, have you got anything more on Twitter at all?
Couple of people talking about the whole comparison with Marcus First Gothic thing. Abhishek says I've lost it again.
While we sort out some technological challenges here, unsurprisingly over at the Oval the match was drawn between Surrey and Essex. So just to run through that, Surrey got 395 all out in their first innings. Essex, thanks to Ryan Tendershata, 100, got 448 all out. In reply, Surrey got 324 for 6 declared. Essex looked like they were going to go out to bat, and they probably decided it was too bloody cold at the Oval, so the match was drawn, and that's the result there. Down, so over at Hampshire, they got there you go. We'll build it up for everybody. So 302 all out were Hampshire in their first innings. Yorkshire got 554 for 7 declared, and then Hampshire.
Yeah, Gary Ballant in the runs again.
Really? Well, we'll come back to Balance in a second. Actually, Hampshire got 208 all out. So as everyone does some really quick maths, I'll let you do that. Guess what? Yorkshire won by an innings and 44 runs. So sorry if your maths weren't too quick enough there.
Yeah, decent start for Yorkshire after Balance and Root managed to save the game at Trent Bridge last week, and both in the runs again. I think a massive 100 from Gary Ballant and an unbeaten 90 odd by Joe Root. Some runs down the order as well. I think Jack Leaning scored some runs down the order, and I think for the bowlers it was pretty much shared around. Olivier got 3 in the first innings, and then it was pretty shared around in the second.
So there you go. It's going to be quite interesting to see what England go with in their batting at the moment, because you've got Hamid, haven't you, up at Lancashire? He got a century, didn't he? And we'll keep on going through the scores in a second. But I mean, Hamid's got a century. I think it's going to be quite interesting, this test side. What do you think, Jamie?
Dominic Sibley done at Warwickshire, formerly of Surrey. 5 consecutive first-class hundreds in some decent nick, so there will be a lot of voices arguing in favour of him getting the gig.
Yeah, I forgot about Sibbers. I mean, let's read out Warwickshire's squad. Oh, I tell you what, this is looking slightly lively. I've got a few friends that are Kent fans, so let's read this one out. So Warwickshire got 346 all out in their first innings. Kent got 504 for 9 declared in their first innings. Warwickshire in reply got 280 all out, and Kent are currently 112 for 2 and need 11 runs to win. Can we just do a bit of a small hand clap for Kent? They got promoted last year and are holding their own so far actually in Division 1. So,
and also have had Jonathan Trott join them as batting coach.
Yeah, for the one day, which I thought was quite strange. So don't get me wrong, I'd back Trott every day for the longer format of the game. For the one day, I thought that's
Jonathan
quite
Trott was a
interesting
decent 50-over player in his time.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. You just more think about him being in the longer format of the game. But
the report that I read from the fantastic George DeBell mentioned that Alan Donald apparently has damaged his shoulder, so he can't do throwdowns.
So they've just basically got Trott in to do throwdowns. I mean, he's got a bit more going about him than just throwdowns.
Well, I think that's part of the rationale for it.
Okay.
I mean, to be fair to AD, who himself is a Warwickshire legend, he wasn't any great shakes with the bat. And if I was playing and somebody said, "Would you like Jonathan Trott to come in to coach your batting?" I'd go, "Yes, please. I'd really rather like that."
His quality, I really like Trott. I think he's a really good player, and obviously had his an interesting career with England, but I'd have him on my side every day. I'm going to quickly run through the Division 2 County Championship scores as well. So Middlesex versus Lancashire. Middlesex scored 265 all out in their first innings. In reply, Lancashire scored 427 all out. Middlesex in their second innings 200 all out, and Lancashire got it with 7 wickets to spare, were 39 for 3. So Lancashire, you've got to say they're a fair chance of going up this season in terms of being promoted. Jamie, you look a little bit squinty-eyed at that suggestion, but you mean they're far and above the rest of the teams in Division 2, but that's just a personal opinion. We'll move on to the Leicestershire and Worcestershire results. So I'll just cut to the chase here. Worcestershire won by an innings and 18 runs. Gloucestershire and Derbyshire, wow, match drawn, there you go. Glamorgan, Northamptonshire, my life. So Glamorgan, Hampshire, I'm going to read this out. So Glamorgan, 570 for 8 declared. Northamptonshire in reply, 750 all out. And unsurprisingly...
Are they playing at Wantage Road? Where are they playing?
It doesn't actually say anything. I was trying to remember where they are playing. I mean, that's got to be a literal road. That's just ridiculous. Glamorgan got 70 for 1. Unsurprisingly, when one of the sides gets 750, you've only got a 4-day game, the match was drawn.
Oh, it was at Sophia Gardens. It was at Cardiff.
Oh, crikey. And then, well, I mean, this is your other shout for going up this year in terms of Division 2. So Sussex have beaten Durham by 6 wickets. Durham were 224 all out in their first innings. Sussex were 202 in reply all out. Durham were then 189 all out, and Sussex were 212 for 4. So
Durham never do anything easy, lose or win, because they had Sussex 71 for 7 in their first innings.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Yeah.
Oh.
Durham keep doing this. They find ways to win and lose from all sorts of unlikely positions.
Yeah, they know how to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory and vice versa.
Yeah.
Just very
lost.
strong.
I think it was a couple of times early in the season they won despite having been asked to follow on early at the start of last season.
It's just typical Durham, really. But
it's a weird old couple of years for Durham fans.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I could talk chapter and verse about Durham. I really can. But if anyone ever gets the chance to make the massive trek up north, do so. The ground there is absolutely beautiful. You will need to wear 25 jumpers. It's bloody cold even in the height of summer, but the fans are fantastic. You get cricket fans coming down from Scotland. I loved it when Test cricket was played there. What the ECB did to Durham was absolutely criminal, and anyone who can support cricket up in Durham, bloody well dive in, go up there, go and support them, go and watch a day of cricket, even if it's dull. It's just a beautiful ground to watch cricket at, when you've got Lumley Castle in the background. Invariably you'll get in a conversation with someone, and it's a beautiful place to watch cricket.
There's a lot of very good après cricket venues in Durham, lots of lovely pubs, and if you have a bit of a heavier night, plenty of 4 a.m. open pizza places.
But there you go. See, the recommendation, we should work for the Durham Tourist Board, shouldn't we? There you go, we should go in for that.
It is a beautiful setting.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. I mean, I think that and Trent Bridge are probably two of the nicest sort of grounds in the UK. I know everyone bangs on about Lords, but Trent Bridge, I mean, there you go.
Trent Bridge is my favourite ground in England as a spectator.
Napple, I want to high five you right now. It is an absolutely quality ground.
We're back from the bucolic pastures of county cricket. We're in the cauldron in Hyderabad. The players are back out there, the Delhi Capitals, with the ball in hand. They'll be a little bit disappointed with their 155 for 7. So the Sunrisers need 156 to reverse a little bit of a wobble that they've been on, and if they win, they will go second in the table behind the Chennai Super Kings. But it's all very, very tight in the middle overs. They'll go second on net run rate with a win. Very, very experienced campaigners with taking the first over with the ball and with the bat to the first man is a shall we say punchy Australian left-hander.
He's quite good with the bat.
He's got a stick in the start.
He's short and he's fat.
He's got a stick in the start.
He's a bit of a
He's
twat.
got a stick in the start.
David Warner's got a stick in the start.
And his first ball just angled across him from a tall, coiffured and bearded Indian fast bowler is just driven out into the offside, and there is no run.
Shower, 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 chameleon. You bat and ball. You bat and ball.
Might be the wrong Sharma. Ishant Sharma definitely does not bat.
Sorry, guys.
I have a little bit of I'll fiddle with that later, but Ishant in full and on leg stump and clipped by Warner up to Monroe, who's fielding quite close in at sort of mid-on, and there is no run.
I have to say, whenever I hear Karma Chameleon, I always think of, being a Villa fan, sorry guys, of Gabia Bulnaho's song that went along to that.
So you're from sort of you're from the southeast. How did you end up a Villa fan?
Tony Daly.
Okay.
The magic of Tony Daly. When I was about 4 or 5 years old, his amazing hair, and this was the most amazing thing. You've got Ron Atkinson. We'll wait for this next ball.
The men back are at deep square leg and backward point. Warner forced onto the back foot by this from Ishant, who is bowling as a lot of fast bowlers do, from over the wicket, kind of in at the body of David Warner, and he pushes into the offside. A bit of a misfield from the man at mid-wicket enables them to come through for 2. Warner is off the mark, as are the Sunrisers. 2 for none after 3 balls.
Yeah, the glory days of Villa in the early to mid-90s, sort of under Ron Atkinson, and it just kind of stemmed from there, really. So the mighty Villa, and I think we're in a good chance of getting into, staying in the playoffs. Whether we'll get through it, I don't know. I mean, when we had Fulham last year, I didn't want us to get promoted. I think we could do with another year in the Championship, and I think the same again. Really.
Oh yeah, beautiful delivery from Ishant, nipping away off the seam and at pace as well. Warner was absolutely nowhere near that, zipped through to Johnny Bairstow, and there is no run.
Yeah, there's a very sort of wry smile there from Warner, actually, as that ball
absolutely
came up.
nowhere near it.
Yeah, just did not read that at all.
That's a test match delivery from Ishant Sharma, just a length delivery, a lovely seam position, and jagging away off the seam. Sorry, through to Rishabh Pant, of course. Johnny Bairstow is not keeping for the Delhi Capitals as well as being at the non-strikers and for the Sunrisers Hyderabad.
Yeah, it'd be quite an entertaining wicket-keeping feat, sort of like a charity match,
yeah.
Or wicket-keeping both matches. I do like the fact that actually sort of a bit of drama's going on with Warner there.
Ishant in, again tight in at the body, and again Warner hurried by this one. Ishant Sharma's quick enough, certainly not a quickish pitch, zipped that through to David Warner on the back foot, blocked back to the bowler. There is no run. Good start from Ishant Sharma, just the 2 runs off the first 5 balls of this over, but as we saw a couple of times in the Sunrisers, in the Delhi batting innings, things can go awry very quickly.
Yeah, it's actually interesting. I have a feeling that Capitals were, Delhi Capitals were 7 for 0 after their first over. So actually, it's you know, he can't take up the first over. But it does make you wonder whether it's, you know, a slow scoring pitch. We'll soon find out.
Ishant in again, some seam movement across David Warner. He just drops this in to the offside and comes through for a single. And so a good start for the Delhi Capitals. Just the 3 runs off the first over for the Sunrisers.
Yeah, nicely starting the strike there by Warner as well. So he starts to face the next over too. So good work there, Jamie. You seem to be
open cities to Jay Grover, who says, "Afternoon, you bollocks. I've missed the day due to county cricket, birdsong, and having a convivial meal with good friends and their children, who forced me to watch Crystal Palace versus Man City. Good to be back in your warm embrace."
Oh.
And then says, "One day when the sun dies and our world's planets and the smallest protozoa will be turned to the impossible negative atom, there will still be some form of life arguing about Jonathan Trott's status as a one-day batsman."
Well, I tell you what, I would put Trott in this category, put Alistair Cook in this category as well. I think Alistair Cook sometimes was a bit hard done by. Knuckle, your face there was a bit like Jamie a minute ago when you didn't agree with something.
We watched quite a lot of I have very, very strong sense memories. I'll come to that after this ball because a far more unambiguously dynamic one-day player is charging into the crease, and he's slightly unlucky to concede a 4 off his first ball. Again in at the body, again fast. Warner tried to pull, gets a thick bottom edge, down to fine leg for 4. Yeah, Alistair Cook could occasionally score 100 off 120, but that was him at his absolute limit. He was a serious negative effect on that England one-day team for a very long time. As yet, Jingle Bowler is in, bowling short and wide outside off stump this time, cut by David Warner to Akshar Patel at backward point, and there is no run. Here he is, the hugely exciting South African.
He's a high roller, rock and roller, scariest, deadliest, killingest bowler. He can sink your oats like the Spanish Armada.
No one faster, no one harder.
What's his name? What's his name? Tell me, what's his name?
Oh, nearly an absolutely extraordinary catch from Kagiso Rabada. Banged in short. Warner mistimed the pull shot off the toe end. Rabada throwing himself to his left against his own momentum, really, and so nearly took the catch one-handed, inches off the ground. Fantastic athleticism from Kagiso Rabada. Warner in no position to pull that. Actually, it bounced well short of Kagiso Rabada, so ignore all of that. But still a very good delivery.
And very fine athleticism too.
What I quite liked about that was the sort of synchronised ball.
A full toss, which Warner's missed out on, and then somehow he's ended up just pushing it straight back to the bowler, and Kagiso Rabada sort of kneed it between the legs of Johnny Bairstow at the non-striker's end, and they've come through for a rather lucky single, and Bairstow finally faces his first ball. Let's have a jingle.
Johnny Bairstow's smarter than the average Bairstow. Johnny Bairstow's been this good since daycare, so all put on your wigs and let the crimson hair flow. I want the Pope to give him his own large prayer. Oh, he can hit the sixes, although it's so dark. He'd even run a 10 at Bradford Park Avenue. No other Yorkshireman can compare. I tell you, Johnny Bairstow's smarter than the average Bairstow.
Well, no comments on facebook.com/crick tracker all day. We know there's a few of you out there watching. Come on, you can leave us a comment if you would like to do so, and we'll read you out and interact with you as this is.
I did see that Facebook was down a bit earlier.
It seems to be.
I don't know if that is still
no,
the case.
it's fine. It's fine. We just restarted it for the start of the second innings. We're all back up as Rabada fast and full, but angling down the fast and full rather, fast and furious, but angling down the leg side. And Bairstow, it was the work of just but a moment to clip it off his hips for 4.
1 2 4 4 2 1. My name is Lakhan. My name is Lakhan.
Again, straight from Rabada. Again, a clip off the hips by Johnny Bairstow, but this time square, and Kemo Paul feels on the deep square leg boundary. An expensive start for Kagiso Rabada. A little bit of bad luck and a little bit of poor direction on his part, but that means that the Sunrisers Hyderabad, after 2 overs, are 13 for no loss, chasing 156.
Just because it was mentioned there by Mr. J. Grover, what was Palace City score? Do we have that anywhere?
Crystal Palace 1, Manchester City 3.
Oh, what a lovely way of reading that out.
Remember James Alexander Gordon on the sports
yes,
report.
yes.
Pleasant memories.
I quite like the fact they sometimes get celebrities to do it now. Like the guy from The Fall, Marky Smith, done it a few times.
Oh yeah, he has.
Which is brilliant.
Is it Fiona Brewster? No, Charlotte Green is the regular. I was thinking of people who Dead Ringers did lots of impressions of. Yeah, Raheem Sterling scored twice and Gabriel Jesus scored one as well.
Oh, quality. I'd like to see Raheem doing well as well, given everything that's going on at the moment. Good stuff.
Yeah, so it's 0-0 between Liverpool and Chelsea at present. As Ishant Sharma comes in, bowling his second over the third of the innings, up to the crease now and bowls and beats Johnny Bairstow with a ripper outside off stump. Bairstow has a limp prod at it, a little bit of movement off the air and off the seam. That was an absolute cracker by Ishant Sharma, and quick as well. And Bairstow had absolutely no idea, was very lucky not to get a nick on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Did not read that at all. I like the fact we've gone very multi-sports diversifying.
We always do.
Football, bit of darts. I could bring up a bit of golf in a minute, see how my boy Molinari's doing. Anything more in the land of Twitter at all, Jamie?
Arthur Sher has said, just bought my ticket for the Ireland versus England one day, thus guaranteeing rainstorms of biblical proportions in Dublin on May the 3rd.
A Yorker from Ishant Sharma and coming down from quite a height, but well dug out by Johnny Bairstow, fielded by Shikhar Dhawan at short mid-wicket, and there is no run. Rattle through him, Jamie.
Justin Smart says, what are you talking about? It's always sunny in Dublin. And then Laura says, it's always sunny in Malahide, apart from day one of Ireland versus Pakistan.
And day two, the latter part of which was curtailed due to a thunderstorm. We had to evacuate the commentary box, and all the spectators had to evacuate because there was a thunderstorm and they were all metal temporary stands. Back of a length and flayed by Johnny Bairstow up and over the two men in the backward point region. Johnny Bairstow trusting his eye and his hands to get it up and over the men in that position, in that region behind square on the offside. 4 runs.
Ravina
2 + 2 is on my mind. 2 + 2 is on my mind.
Ravina says, in tribute to your return to our radios, I have turned off the telly. Jules at Jim and Pandey are sufficient unto the night.
We certainly are. Sufficient at any time of day. In comes Ishant Sharma. Hair are flapping as he's up to the crease now, and bowls full, and beautiful shot by Johnny Bairstow. Ishant going for the Yorker, missing it by inches, but what a pick up by Bairstow over the leg side for 4.
You gotta have fun, Rudy. You gotta have fun. Tell me no more.
Johnny Bairstow in full cry is a sight to behold.
Yeah, absolutely. When he gets going, it's absolutely prime entertainment to watch. You can guarantee that's now guaranteed a wicket of the next ball, but let's hope not.
He was brilliant in the reverse fixture at the Ferocia Kotla the other week. Hit a 6 that almost went into the signage in between the 3rd and 4th tier, straight back over the bowler's head. On a slow pitch, he made a mockery of the conditions and the chase. Fine leg's gone back and third man's come up, so there's now 4 men saving one between short third man and extra cover, and the mid-off as well. In comes Ishant Sharma, back-to-back 4s, just the single. Bairstow and Warner are lightning quick between the wickets. The men are in the offside ring, are set way back on the circle, so the easy single was available to Johnny Bairstow, who's moved to 14 off 7.
He's absolute box office, he really is, when Bairstow gets going.
Yeah, his timing is extraordinary.
Yeah, it's just hand-eye coordination. He's actually quite a nice batsman to watch. He doesn't slug it everywhere, he just times it, plays the ball nicely.
Yeah, he's got amazing bat speed.
Yeah.
That was his pickup through the leg side. I remember he hit a couple of years ago when he was still trying to make his way back into the England team. He was playing against Nottinghamshire, and Stuart Broad bowled him a length ball outside off stump, and he went down on one knee and sort of short arm slog swept him for a flat 6 over square leg. Unbelievable. Ishant Sharma then to Bairstow's opening partner Warner, who's been, although he is the leading run scorer in the competition this year, has been a little subdued at times. and he'll keep the strike with just a single out into the offside. Expensive stuff from Ishant Sharma after a good first over means that after 3 overs, the Sunrisers Hyderabad, chasing 156, are 23 for no loss.
And just to bring an update on the Masters, Molinari is ahead by 2 to Tiger Woods. This is how every year he does it. Bubba Watson is third at the moment. You're just thinking, he's won it twice, hasn't he, about in the past 5 or 6 years. He always comes good in the final round of the Masters. Bubba Watson.
I quite like watching Bubba Watson. I'm sort of a golf fan. I'll watch the last day. We've actually done the last day of the Masters on Guerrilla Cricket a couple of years ago. Oh. That was good fun. I don't know if we do it again because it's a long night, but it was good fun. It was the one that Sergio Garcia won. Yeah. We were all very, very happy about. But yeah, I like watching the Ryder Cup and I like watching the last days of majors. My dad's a massive golf fan. Has been for a few years. His favourite golfer is Miguel Angel Jimenez with the ponytail and the cigar and the red wine.
And a lovely pronunciation there as well. Just in the event when we do have a general election, will we do a guerrilla sort of cricket sort of general election?
Well, we've done the last 2.
Oh, have we?
We have done the last 2.
Is there a swingometer? Is there somewhere we could do stats or something?
Oh, we can. The guy James Sherwood tends to anchor the coverage of our general elections. He's a proper general election nerd in the best possible way.
Oh, I want to meet this gentleman.
Yeah, he was a very good big part of the early days of guerrilla cricket. In fact, composed our theme tune as well, along with a number of early jingles. But yeah, I imagine if there's an election called, I imagine we'll be those few of us will be pressed back into service. And anyone, if you want to join us, you're more than welcome.
Oh, I'll be all over that like a cheap suit. I really would. I mean, I like the fact that you said if. I mean, it's blatantly coming, isn't it? With everything that's coming.
Mate, who knows? Who the hell knows?
We have a demand here from Arthurshire. He says, Knackle, say more Spanish names.
I'm not just going to say more Spanish names just out of context. The only 2 I've mentioned are 2 Spanish golfers.
That brings to mind the classic scenes from the Addams Family where John Aston as Gomez says to Morticia, speak French to me.
So we've got Brass Eye coming up to bowl here, Mr. Chris Morris.
All arms and all elbows really. Just they're pumping in as though he's trying not to smash himself in the face every time he runs in. Just outside off stump and best. Warner rather just guides this down to backward point for a single.
Because it's Chris Morris. Because it's Chris Morris. Because it's Chris Morris. And it's coming up now.
Played an innings of negative usefulness for the Delhi Capitals with 4 off 8. Absolutely clueless against Rashid Khan and very tentative for such a powerful hitter. But it's been useful with the ball. The gigantic South African, back of a length, and Bairstow goes up on his toes and cuts, but can't beat Akshar Patel at cover point, and there is no run.
To bring you even more sports coverage in the Women's FA Cup, Manchester City beat Chelsea by a goal pretty much in the final knockings of the game. Eriksson scored 2 minutes into stoppage time, so there you go.
What stage of the Women's FA Cup are we at?
Oh gosh, now that's a question. I mean, what do you mean, what stage? They were at. Oh, okay, sorry, the semi-final.
Oh, okay. As Morris is in. Oh, and Johnny Bairstow might be about to be given LBW, having caught the ball between his legs there. So the ball has wedged between his knees. I think actually, judging by where it did wedge between his knees, that might be slightly too high. But he got squared up as he tried to pull Chris Morris into the leg side and lodged the ball between his legs.
Kind of looked like a little penguin, like he was about to give birth to a little football.
And he's grasped it between his knees. Morris and Bairstow had no idea where that has gone, and Johnny Bairstow's laid a cricket ball.
Congratulations.
End result, no run. It was definitely going over the top of the stumps, but that's really not the important bit. Outside off stump, and Bairstow climbs into that one, a length delivery, and Bairstow made that look absurdly easy, lofting it back over the bowler's head for 6. What a shot that was. Just a length ball, and Just a shovel, no follow through at all. With that high backlift, he doesn't need to follow through much to get some serious power into the shot. And over the sight screen it went. He pushes this into the offside. Shikhar Dhawan, the bald-headed Shikhar Dhawan, comes in from bareheaded rather, as well as bald-headed field in the offside, and there is no run.
I do like the way you pronounce the Indian players' names as well. When you did the Afghan names, it was actually I quite enjoyed just listening to you.
They feel good coming out of the mouth, the Afghan names.
Yeah.
As just the way the syllables all come together and the way the stresses roll and the nice hard consonants in there to break it up. There's a joy in cricketers' names, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Last ball of the over from Chris Morris. Out to the wicket now and bowled, and this is punched by Johnny Bairstow. Again to Shikhar Dhawan, there is no run. So actually a pretty decent over from Morris, despite that enormous 6. Only the 7 runs off it, but again it's Bairstow doing all the early running for the Sunrisers Hyderabad. After 4 overs, they are 30 for no loss. Warner is 10 off 12, and Bairstow, also off 12, has scored 20.
There you go. And it doesn't actually look like it's been a sort of like a rush or a hurry.
Absolutely not.
Really just in their stride. Jamie, how are we going?
But there is good intention with their running, which we didn't see from the Delhi Capitals players.
Yeah, 100% spot on. Actually, they've taken twos where they need to as well, not just
these two are very keen between the wickets, and they're very, very quick. I mean, Bairstow is extraordinary between the wickets.
Yeah, he is. He really is. And I think, it's one of the advantages of having him in your one-day side. It's I'll tell you what, will it keep wicket in there? Or will it be
Butler will keep. Ishant in. Bowling is third in a row. I wonder if they might bowl him straight through at the top, like Chennai have done that with Deepak Chahar earlier in the season a couple of times. It was talked about as a possibility in the sort of some of the preview pieces I was reading. Onto Warner quite quickly there, and thick inside edge onto the pad and dribbles out into the offside. So there's an easy single.
The score is 31 without loss, just going into 5th over. It's at this stage, all you can think about is Sunrisers winning this. It's just a matter of how many overs, but you can never tell.
No, the Delhi Capital spinners have bowled quite well in the tournament thus far. Akshar Patel's been very good since he came into the side. They brought Amit Mishra back into the 11, which I'm a fan of. More leg spinners the better, as far as I'm concerned. Amit Mishra, a very, very experienced T20 spinner, has an excellent googly. Could be interesting to see how he goes. KG Rabada and Chris Morris have been in good form with the ball as well. But I think the Sunrisers' plan seems to be to try and break the back of the chase and then just sort of nudge it around. A lovely clip off the hips, really, by Johnny Bairstow. Just a regulation delivery on off stump, and Bairstow again with that extraordinary hand speed just punched that into the mid-wicket region. It took a good stop from Chris Morris to prevent the 4.
Yeah, absolutely. It was actually very, very coordinated. I didn't pick up it was Chris Morris to start off with, but he's really
a superb fielder.
Yeah, that was absolutely spot on.
He's probably a similar height and similar-ish build to Morne Morkel, but you could not get two more different competences as a fielder. He's a very, very good in there. That's a bouncer from Ishant Sharma, harmless outside off stump, and again with the bounce on this pitch, it loops through over the batter's head and is signalled a wide.
Wide.
So we're 34 without loss.
Messages informs us that Liverpool are now 2-0 up on Chelsea after 56 minutes, and says that he thinks Julia's laugh should be recorded for its own jingle.
We can sort that, I'm sure. Yeah, Sadio Mane and Mohamed Salah with the goals.
Problem is, once I get the giggles, I have trouble stopping, as you might have seen.
The men back are at fine leg and deep mid-wicket. In comes Ishant up to the crease, bowls and nearly cuts Bairstow in half there again. Too quick for one of the Sunrisers' opening batters. Skidded through, and Bairstow, he does have that bad habit of chopping the ball back onto his stumps. He's just playing that with a sort of neither on the front foot nor on the back foot, neither a drive nor a defensive, and just very, very lucky that it came off the bottom edge and bounced over the top of the stumps. They come through for the single.
Yeah, it's one of those lucky man moments. I really thought I was going to clip the top of the bells and they'll be walking, but nope, he is still there. Jamie, how's it?
Raviner pipes up. Ballesteros, Olazabal, Garcia, Jimenez. Your boys took one hell of a knuckling. Be a dear and ask young Panday to read this out, please. It is for your listeners.
Ishant Sharma full and nicely driven by David Warner, but just mistimed, and up to mid on it goes. There is no run. What was the? You did very well, I must say, Jamie, with the
Gracias.
Ballesteros, Olazabal, Garcia, Jimenez. Severiano Ballesteros.
When I speak Spanish, I have to do it with a bit of a lisp.
I speak a very good English. I learned it from a book.
It's a hamster.
Good morning, Major.
Oh, God. You're listening to Flowery Twats here on Guerrilla Cricket. Sunrisers 35 for no loss. 2 balls left to the 5th over. Ishant Sharma up to the crease now and bowls a short ball again onto Warner very quickly, and a good stop from the man at short fine leg, diving to his right, and saved a certain 3 runs. Amit Mishra in there, not known for his athleticism in the field, but did very well there. And so 1 ball left of the 5th over. The 5 runs off it, including the wide.
Warner seems to have struggled a little bit against Ishant. Maybe the Delhi Capitals are thinking they'll bowl Ishant out with the idea of either keeping Warner strike rate down or getting shot of him.
I was thinking that myself, and also Ishant Sharma is not the greatest of death bowlers. But I think with the pace and the little bit of bounce that Ishant Sharma gets and the angle that he's bowling into the body, which is something Warner's struggled with for a while. He does get the pull away this time, but it's a bit of a hoik, and down to the man on the fine leg boundary it goes. So 6 runs off Ishant Sharma's 3rd over, the 5th of the innings. Sunrisers 36 for no loss.
Apparently today is the Finnish general election, and the polls are due to close in 8 minutes apparently. So if anybody from Finland is listening in to us, make sure you voted.
Kiitos.
Your vote is important.
The only thing I think about Finland is the Formula 1 racing drivers. They seem to just have, they must just breathe.
And rally drivers.
Oh, yes, Tommy Mäkinen. Yeah.
My dad has this habit of he'll go from a very sensible car to a bit of a boy racing car, and he had Mitsubishi Evo with Tommy Mäkinen special edition decals after he won the World Rally Championship. It was incredibly fast, but just so sort of the acceleration would pin you back in your seat. Great fun when I was an 11-year-old being driven around by. You terrify my friends by, taking us for a drive in the car. But Tommy Mäkinen and Kimi Räikkönen of the monosyllables.
Mika Häkkinen.
Mika Häkkinen.
What a driver! Yeah. I mean, he was absolute. Well, kamikaze. He was quality back in the day for Formula 1.
We do have a change of bowling. We have KG Rabada back into the attack, and very, very quick, almost too quick for Rishabh Pant. Warner trying to back away to leg and sort of flay this full wide one over the offside. Ends up almost knocking himself off his feet. The end result is that there is no run.
He's a high roller, rock and roller, scariest, deadliest, killing this bowler. He can stink your oats like the Spanish Armada.
No one faster, no one harder.
What's his name?
Kaiser Rabada in back of a length and on the back foot. David Warner pushes into the offside, fielded by the Wunderkind Prithvi Shaw at cover, and there is no run. A bit of a laugh between Rabada and Warner, which is more than they were doing this time last year in South Africa.
Yeah, sandpaper at the ring.
Yes, David Warner trying to sandpaper over the cracks, and so on and so forth. We've done all of the jokes have been done.
No,
all of the jokes have been done.
Sweetheart, you're the one who went there with the joke.
Oh yeah,
I was going to talk about the Foster's advert. Well, he sat there and all of a sudden he said, "Oh, you might not have seen it yet."
No.
So there's a Foster's advert, usual tripe, but there's a brilliant moment where the cricket ball comes in, puts a bit of sandpaper, chucks it back out to the girl playing beach cricket.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Foster's are one of those companies where the beer is so bad the advertising has to be good.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Who else was it? Was it Bex that used to have fantastic
Yeah.
adverts? Budweiser.
Kaisa Rabada in back of a length and worked off the pads by Johnny Bairstow. Down to a long leg and a great bit of fielding from Kimo Paul, who came in as though flying in from another channel. He came in from deep backward square and made a lot of ground to his right and saved 2 runs for his team.
He came in a bit there, like Superman, just needed a little cape and he'd be sorted. That was absolutely quality fielding there.
Again, KG Rabada going a little bit too straight to Johnny Bairstow. We saw him get clipped off his hips in his first over, but superb fielding again from the young Guyanese Kimo Paul.
Yeah, if the Delhi batsmen had shown the same commitment in their innings.
Well, certainly after the power play, or certainly after the loss of Colin Munro, who was the standout for the Delhi Capitals. Outside off stump this time from Rabada, and Bairstow pushes into the offside, and there is no run. Up until very recently, just the last couple of days, KG Rabada was the only man to stop Andre Russell in this year's IPL with that fantastic Yorker in the super over. Dre Ross wasn't able to perform his heroics for KKR the other day. He and Imran Tahir are the joint leading wicket takers in the tournament. Imran Tahir, 13 wickets in 8 games at under a run a ball. Absolutely incredible. Attempted Yorker from Rabada ends up as a low full toss, and Bairstow ends up taking one hand off the bat. I think he was trying to make room for himself and guide this through the offside, but it sort of followed him from Rabada, and off the thick inside edge it goes to mid-wicket. There is no run.
A 3-way tie in the for the lead in the Masters. Woods, Molinari and Schaufler. All 11 under with 5 to play.
Yeah, pretty much every time there's a major, someone comes up to the top of the leaderboard who I've never heard of.
Is he the young guy with he's a Taiwanese mother and a French-German father or something? Is it Xander Schaufler?
I'll have to look that up, or people tell us out there on Twitter who follow the golf more closely than I do. Back of a length, last ball of the power play is clipped for a single down to square leg. After 6 overs, Bairstow is 26 off 18, Warner is 13 off 18, so very much Johnny Bairstow being the dominant partner, and the Sunrisers Hyderabad, after their 6 overs, are 40 for no loss, needing a further 116 runs to win. The required run rate is already up at 8 and over. I don't think they'll be too bothered about that at this stage, but have to get a little bit of a shift on. I think the plan to be aggressive in the power play, if that was the plan, has not worked.
Yeah, they're just behind slightly, actually, Sunrisers on the run rate. I think
there's a couple of runs and over behind.
Yeah, there's Delhi Capitals. I think we're in about 50 at this stage. What are they on at the moment?
Sunrise is 40 for no loss.
Yeah, I think they're just sort of going behind here. Although it looks a bit more positive, and you feel a bit more confident with Warner and Bairstow out there. It just, I think, because it was it Monroe that got 40? Just trying to think. Yeah, in that early stages, and it just, I don't know, it's sort of
the Bairstow's been very positive and aggressive. I think Warner's been a little bit. I think that line that Ishant Sharma's been bowling to him has troubled him. And I think you might be right. I wonder if they might bowl Ishant Sharma through now. Maybe leave one for the middle overs and maybe bring the spinners on now. But I think if I were the Delhi Capitals captain at this point, I would do exactly as you suggest, Jamie, and bowl Ishant straight through to David Warner, and again just tuck him up.
Just, looking at Warner, he is 13 runs off 18.
Yeah.
He's only got 1 boundary so far, so at 4.
He's just eating up deliveries.
Yeah, he is. You actually kind of wonder if it's been easier just get him out and chuck in Kane Williamson.
Sure, or at least, maybe it's his. Maybe he goes more aggressive now, and at least, either get the run rate up or perish in the attempt.
Yeah, completely. Just. Well, at least show some intent. It's T20, mate. Come on,
yeah, for sure. Given that they're in the timeout, should you and I switch positions?
Oh, yeah, go on then.
Jules will do some ball by ball. Jamie, do you want to read some tweets while we're shifting around?
Happily to. Right, okay. Greetings and hello to Renee Keita from Finland. She says, hello from Finland. The media have been full of xenophobia and climate change deniers. In these Trump days, I always expect the worst.
Don't be taken down by populism.
And then Renee goes on to say, bad beer. You've lived a sheltered life until you've tasted the trace of turpentine in Finland's cough beer.
So I was in Helsinki a couple of weeks back, but I don't think I tried much of the... Oh, I did try some, standard craft beer, but I don't think, whatever that is, I don't think I tried. Sounds punchy, whatever it is.
Finland's an expensive country to be... It's a lot of money to pay for bad beer.
Do you know what? So his little quarter pints was something like £5, so it wasn't a weekend to go and get too levered, to be honest with you.
Well, the only Finnish boozer I've ever encountered is stuff called salmiakki, which is a salt licorice liqueur.
Not for me.
It's amazing.
Not a licorice fan in any form.
Yeah, two glasses of that, and I had the next day I had the mother and father and 5 illegitimate children of all hangovers. It was a real swine.
They do chuffing love their licorice in the Scandi countries, actually. They really do.
Not a fan. We do have spin into the attack. It is the tall left arm spinner we've been talking about.
So, for the clarification there, Axel Patel comes in. Bairstow's on strike. He goes down like he's going to do the dual scoop. Completely mistimes it, and it kind of bounces off. Wow.
His pads, I think.
Yeah, it's a...
Or his thigh, really, because he's down on one knee.
Well, basically, it's a dot ball. There is no run. The score is 40 without loss after 6.2 balls. Second ball there, Bairstow just bats it back to Patel. Bairstow is 26 of 20 balls. And Patel comes back in again. It's paid down towards deep extra cover. Is that Paul there?
That's Chemo Paul rather falling over as he tried to fling the ball back in, and so they were able to come back for 2.
Sort of went down in stages there, didn't he? So it went,
well, he picked up the ball, and then just as he was about to throw, he slipped, and so held onto the ball. I wonder if there's a little bit of dew out there in Hyderabad this evening.
It does look a bit. It did look a bit slippy earlier on when Rashid Khan was fielding it from all areas of his body. So whether that is playing spot there, well, there you go. That goes beyond fly slip and hurtles over towards the boundary for one of these.
It's Nissan She. It's Nissan She.
Yeah, trying to cut Bairstow, didn't really manage to make any room for himself, and it wasn't really the correct line to be cutting, but with no slip in place, I guess it's a safe enough shot, because even if you do top edge it, you're going to be very, very unlucky to top edge it so far and it goes through to the keeper.
Yeah, it brings Bairstow up to 32 of 22 balls. Patel's in again. That's just gone down to backwards square leg, and they just take one run off that. It's Rabada hurls it back in.
He's an incredibly fast underarm.
Yeah, he does actually. It was ever so rapid coming back in there.
He also hit one of the other strips and bounced up and nearly took Rishabh in the face.
Yes, it was very, very, very rapid. But hey, there you go. Sunrisers are 47 without a loss. Final ball coming up. It's Ross thing with spinners. They always seem to have like some really, really quick balls, and all of a sudden there's a bit of movement going on, and then like, is this the end of the over? Oh no, there's one ball left.
Well, it's a right, left-hander. They're changing the field.
So Warner is facing the final ball of this over. Patel comes up and cuts it across. That goes over to sort of long leg. Have they just taken the one run there?
They have, yeah. There was only ever one there. It went hard and flat straight to Ishant Sharma, and also Bairstow was down on one knee, so it took him a little while to get up again.
Yeah.
He was initially shaping for the reverse and then changed his mind. David Warner is one of those guys who can actually hit the switch hit slog sweep almost as well as he can hit, or possibly as well as he can hit the orthodox one. We've seen him hit sixes full-on right-handed before.
Very diverse player. Jamie, how's it going over there?
We've had a request from Chitna Vakil asking who's in the commentary box tonight. So, in my Rainbow Rising Tour 1976 t-shirt for Messi Jazz and for Jay Grover, I'm Jamie, on Twitter at Captain Mike Yates.
So continuing the band theme t-shirt, sorry Nak, you didn't get the memo here. In the Clash t-shirt you've got Jules covering ball by ball at the moment, and occasionally Jingles if I can work technology.
Yeah, and alternating between your ball by ball and your Jingles and your emergency tech support in the Gorilla Cricket t-shirt teamed with a hoodie and blazer, it's Knuckle M Pandey.
And looks like we've got a change of bowling here as well. We have this man coming on.
Yeah, the former Munkad man, way back in the under-19 World Cup of a couple of years ago, and also surely the only man named after both a world leader and a type of cow. Chemo, Mandela, Angus, Paul.
Do you think they thought about that when they named him? So Warner faces the first ball. It just goes for 1 run. Slightly taken aback by the cow comment, but all good.
I'm assuming that Angus is some sort of family connection, a grandfather or something, and then Mandela is just, a bit of aspirational naming.
Yeah,
but it's one of those names you see and think, I'm never going to forget that. I'm never going to be able to forget that. It's going to take up space for something like a really important password.
He might have been named after Angus Young, the AC/DC guitarist.
He could have been.
Yeah, massive AC/DC fan. It's obviously well liked in the Caribbean. Oh! Absolutely brilliant. So just to explain what happened there. So Paul bowls the second ball of the over, goes behind for the keeper. The keeper, I suppose, punt, isn't it?
Yeah.
Throws it back in, completely cocks Bairstow at the back and wakes him up. Not that he needs waking up. He scored 33 off 24 balls. But anyway, that's what's happened there, and hence some guffaw of laughter.
Yeah, it takes away from actually a very good slower ball from Chemo Paul that Bairstow completely missed.
Heads up from Abhishek Chopra. Apparently Mumbai's injury replacement, Alzari Joseph, is injured and will miss the remainder of the tournament, most probably.
Thank you very much for the heads up. He's been very, very good for Mumbai. Certainly in the first couple of games, though, he did get some fearful punishment the other day.
So Bairstow just gets a single there. The ball goes down between mid-on and mid-wicket.
Yeah, Joss Butler took him down yesterday. Alzari Joseph having taken the best ever bowling figures in the IPL on debut, 6 for 12.
Hello.
Then rescued a game with the bat at the end, but yesterday went for 53 off his 4 overs, almost all by Joss Butler.
Whoa, so there's a top edge on this from Warner. It does not read that at all. They didn't take a run there. There was a lot of running around. The fielders went to go for it and no run was scored and the ball hits the ground.
Yeah.
And the ball trots back.
Yeah, Chemo Paul was trying to run towards mid-wicket. Prithvi Shaw was trying to run in, to extra cover. Prithvi Shaw was trying to run in from extra cover and the ball landed immediately between them. It seemed to just sort of grip in the pitch and bounce onto David Warner. It was just too quick for him. He wasn't set for it at all.
So Paul back in again. That goes to just sort of square leg, bit beyond. Takes the 1 run. He's 16 off 22 deliveries. Puts Bairstow back on strike. So Sunrisers are 51 without loss.
It's putting a lot of pressure on Bairstow and it's putting a lot of pressure on the guys to come because they can't keep going on letting the run rate build.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see Bairstow there was going halfway up the track to try and sneak that run, and you're just thinking, you could really Warner, just go for it, mate, or get out. And geez, me, he just sort of cuts that in half. It bounced back towards Pant, and it just dot ball. But Warner looks out of sorts here. He really does. Just to be honest, it'd just be easier if he gets out.
I agree.
There's a definite plan in the way that they've bowled to Warner. Delhi perceive a weakness there, and it's looking like
it's something he's had an issue with for a long time. That ball sort of in at the rib cage, in at the armpit. You don't want to let him free his arms. You don't want to let him cut. You don't want to let him pull. So you go in at the body, cramp him for room, and he has struggled with it. We have actually lots of comments on Facebook Live. They suddenly just jumped in from nowhere. Mohammed Khan, Dipesh Kumar, Manoj Srivastava, Imad Sohail, Damar Khadka, that's a Nepalese name, I think. It's yes, and he's complaining about the lack of Sandeep Lomachane. Esha, Dharna Khadka.
Aksar Patel's back in. First ball has gone right over to deep cover, and that has gone for a massive one of these.
2, 4, 6.
So we should sort of say to Warner, get out or
go
trying.
Well, all that pressure that had built up, and Aksar's just bowled a half tracker, and Warner's gone, thank you.
Yeah,
massive save.
Yeah, he just went a little bit deeper into his crease. I don't think it actually was a half tracker, but he's made it into a half tracker by his use of the crease, and absolutely launched over cow corner for 6.
I'm a harsh judge.
I do love the pun machines that come up on the big screen.
I want that job.
Aksar Patel comes in for a second ball. Fielded by is it Bachakar Dhawan?
Bachakar Dhawan, yes.
Yeah. So just 2 off second ball of that over brings Warner. So yeah, just getting that actual 6 and a 2 Warner is now 100 on the old strike rate,
Yeah.
24 runs of 24. But whether
He's eaten up 4 overs and he's just now going at a run a ball.
yeah, so
And it took a 6 to do it.
you can guarantee a wicket's going to come soon, can't you? It's just like
Either that or this is where Warner breaks free.
Yeah. We could do like a little jingle of Queen as we want to break free. So a single is just sort of nerdled there
I
towards
think in
extra
pictures,
cover.
the last thing I want to think of is David Warner in a tight PVC skirt doing vacuuming.
I Warner break free.
Hey, and he's here all night, and that's Knuckle and Panda.
And tomorrow and Tuesday.
Hey, you lucky people. So, fourth ball, apologies. Slightly taken back there by the puns. It's Bairstow, and he has gone for one of these.
Now my innings going, great guns, I hit the ball, 4 runs, I hit the ball and it went for 4
This is
runs.
comfortably the worst over that Akshar Patel's bowled in the tournament. He's been too short throughout, and it's been too predictably short as well, and Bairstow was able to go very deep in his crease, pick that up early and power it away through square leg.
Axel comes in for his 5th ball of the over. That's just nerdled towards, I'd say, mid-on, throws it back in, just takes a single. So I've been commentating now for around about 3 months, and it's taken until today, and timely for the Clash t-shirt, that there is actually a Clash sort of themed jingle, actually, with I Fought the Law, but with 4 runs, which has now completely destroyed that song for me as well. So thanks very much. Cheers, Guerrilla Cricket.
You could say, I mean, the Clash. It's a cover of not of the Clash song, but of the original.
Wow. Oh, I thought I'd gone absolutely big. So Warner goes to smack it, but it goes straight into Balcha Kadarwan's hands. So it goes. I think it was just scored 1 run in the end, wasn't it? It was so fast. But well, there you go.
Yeah, trying to back away, trying to manufacture, trying to get some room for himself. But Akshar Patel got his lines and lengths right off that last delivery, and Warner just tried to loft it over the covers and just. Yeah, 1 bounce out to the boundary field. A 66 for no loss after 9 the Sunrisers. Making slightly heavy weather of this. But yeah, back to those comments on Facebook Live. Karna Singh Thapa Tanvir Ahmed Hamid Ahmed Zai. So nice to have some Afghans with us. Mohammad Sabuddin, Khakon Khan calling for lots of 6s and 4s. Asif Rajput, Manu Madhu says this is a low scoring match.
So Chemo Paul back in for his 2nd over. I tell you what, we were saying if the ball was following Rashid Khan, it's now following Balcha Kadarwan all round the pitch. So that looked like Warner just got. Did take a single off that one.
Hard and flat straight to the man. There was no chance of getting back for 2 there. It's not that big a playing area. Manu Mother also says, OMG, what a great commentary. Interesting. Thank you, Manu.
Aww,
tell your friends. Mohammad
kind.
Zishan is with us saying the Sunrisers will win. Mukesh Khatri saying Delhi will win.
Very mixed on old Facebook Live there. So that's just gone behind deep extra cover. Just taken a 1-1 there.
The origins of the Angus part of Chemo Paul's name. Arthur Sher advises us that no, it's after Angus Fraser. Genuinely.
Really?
And Abhishek Chopra chimes in. Yeah, remember learning this on GC itself. He was born close to the day of a fantastic performance from Angus in the West Indies in 1998.
Oh, that's right. Angus Fraser did quite well in the West Indies in the 90s a couple of times, didn't he?
So that could be the origin of his name as he comes in. Again, Warner kind of chops this, goes towards
extra cover.
Yeah, and just they're taking a single, but he's looking again frustrated with his lot. He sort of started to hit out. You thought, oh, here we go. Here's Warner taking off, and then it's kind of been restricted.
Well, again, there's so much effort that's gone into that, and it's gone nowhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Chemo Paul is named after Nelson Mandela and Angus Fraser.
Hey, you heard it here first on Guerrilla Cricket, and we got Bairstow on strike. See, that's the kind of shot that Warner was trying to play there. It really wasn't of the previous ball, but that goes down to sort of just beyond mid-on. Oh, we've got a free hit, so that was a no ball, was that?
Yeah, it must have been. I'm guessing a front foot no ball. Yeah, it was a slower ball. Actually, it was a decent slower ball by Chemo Paul. Bairstow timed it quite nicely, but straight to, or almost straight to the man on the deep mid wicket boundary. Yeah, the Facebook Live people are quite split about who's going to win this. Rahul Upadhyay, Sunil Yadav saying, it's a massive no ball, in fact, by by Chemo Paul.
Over the line! Huh? I'm sorry, Smokey. You were over the line. That's a foul.
Mohammed Abdul Hamid says DC. What?
David Coverdale?
It could be. It goes straight back behind Chemo Paul. Kagisa Rabada pings it back in. You can see the frustration all over Warner. Just gets a single off that ball.
Yeah.
He flings his bat around. I mean,
And now he's saying it's broken.
Yeah.
This is kind of, that was indicative of his innings. It's a full toss, a free hit, and he's just managed to get a single.
And
well, a while ago he did sort of wave his bat, and he indicated he wasn't completely happy with it.
There is some tape on the bottom of that bat, but he's got getting a couple of new ones. Ridhaman Saha, the Indian wicketkeeper, is the man who's been tasked with running bats out to David Warner.
I was just trying to work out the toe end of the bat was just split there. It did look like
Maybe
there was a bit
little.
of gapping, so maybe that's what's... I mean, it's no excuse for his batting today, but it could be a little reason why he's just not connecting the way we would usually expect him to. Paul comes back in, quite a wide ball. Hello there. And so that has gone down to long off. Kagisa Rabada is there. And, goodbye, Mr. Bairstow. He scored 41 off 31 balls. First wicket has gone. Sunrisers Hyderabad are 72 for 1 off 9.5.
And it's not an over.
On your bike, mate.
Slower ball, that one.
Yeah, very...
Yeah, not quite picked by Bairstow. Got a little bit ahead of himself. Didn't quite manage to get the elevation, and a simple catch for Kagisa Rabada down there on the long off boundary. But a decent knock by Johnny Bairstow. But with Warner struggling at the other end, it's a bit of a pressure now on the Sunrisers middle order, which has struggled a little bit in the tournament thus far.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see how much that means to Paul there. Absolutely punches his fist in the air just to get that key wicket of Bairstow out. You kind of can't help but feel that Bairstow there is a bit of misfortune, really, for what's going on at the other end by Warner, just sort of eating up the ball, so to speak, and not showing that intent. But hey, there you go. That's cricket for you. Sometimes your player that is playing well gets out, and the one that you kind of want to get out because you want more runs to come stays in. Let's see how we take as the ever lovely Mr. Kane Williamson comes to the crease.
Kane Williamson, like a game of ping pong. 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 Kane Williamson.
So final ball off the over, and Williamson's off the mark straight away. Has he got one for that?
Yes.
Oh, he has. So interestingly, in this over, with the exception of the wicket, all the balls have gone for one. So there you go. Do love a little bit of a random over nerdery there. So we got that there for me.
Yeah, 73 for 1 after 10, and Sunrisers, really having only lost one wicket in the first 10 overs, should have made them manage to sort of eat a much bigger chunk out of the total than they have.
Yeah, it's gone very, very slow. I mean, it's one of those, I'm just trying to work out, actually. It's one of those psychological things. So you got Bairstow and you got Warner sort of open up your batting. You're thinking, this is going well. But actually, when you looked at the stats compared to Delhi Capitals, you're thinking, well, actually, they're not doing that much better. And it seems a little bit slower.
Yeah,
they're a bit cloggy.
I mean, Bairstow did all right. 41 off, was a pretty decent innings. 41 off 31, scoring at just a shade under 8 and over. Even that's not brilliant. It's decent, but it's not brilliant. And Warner's barely been above a run a ball the entire innings.
Yeah, the back of this chase has not been broken.
It has not. No, there's some power to come. Vijay Shankar is powerful. Deepak Hooda is powerful. Abhishek Sharma, playing for Delhi last year, had a magnificent innings against the Mumbai Indians, 46 off 19. But to the Delhi Capitals' most experienced spin bowler is in, having missed being left out for a few games in a row.
And Williamson just placed that too. Sorry, I got a bit waylaid by Jamie going, here is Ahmed. Just goes to...
Yeah.
And looking very, very,
rotund.
Well, no, actually...
Old.
All right.
And he looks to have maybe lost a few pounds from last time I saw him.
Oh, really?
But I was looking for an adjective to describe his hair.
Well, the second ball just goes towards mid-on, and it's just gone for one run. But, quite easy, boys,
I like Amit Mishra a lot.
Yeah,
I think
I do.
he's a fantastic 2020. Look, an attacking wrist spinner can turn the ball both ways is worth their weight in gold in T20.
Yeah, 100%.
He's one of the highest wicket takers in the tournament. He's also got a really good jingle, which is quite long, so I'll sort of use it as a bed for the over. Fade this down, you can commentate over the top of it.
Thank you. So second ball comes in to Warner, goes to extra cover. They just take a single off that, puts Williamson back on strike. Warner is 30 of 30 balls. So I'll tell you what, this is a brilliant little thing here. So just after 10.3 overs, the Capitals were 91 for 3. Sunrisers Hyderabad is 75 for 1.
It's weird.
Yeah, so it just kind of shows psychologically we actually all thought Sunrisers were doing a lot better, but actually the Delhi Capitals were. It's
but it was at this point. It was kind of at this
balls.
point that it all started to go, or not quite at this point, but a couple of overs later, it started to go very, very wrong for Delhi.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting here to see how Williamson, so it's his second match in the IPL, comes and plays his game here. I mean, he's shown intent straight away. He's got a couple of singles. I mean, let's see how we go here. So Landers Williamson, just again, he's taken a single there. That's just gone towards point. He's very, very cautious in his approach, actually.
Yeah, the leading run scorer in last year's IPL, but obviously only playing his second game this year, has missed most of the tournament through injury. So I wonder if he just hasn't quite got into the tournament as obviously he's a fantastic player.
Yeah, absolutely. I always just a bit taken aback. We'll just wait for this ball to be bowled. So that's gone to, well, again the ball is following Shekhar Dhawan, taking a single there from Warner. It's Williamson. I always see him much more as a test batsman. So to see him as a T20 player, I mean, I'll need to look up his stats later.
He was very, very good last year for the Sunrisers. Scored. It was the leading run scorer in the tournament, strike rate of 140. He just found a way in the way that class players do. So, Steve Smith has probably underperformed in T20, but you look at Williamson and Kohli, who are sort of stroke players. You wouldn't necessarily think of having a power game.
Yeah, final ball of the over is just a dot ball. Williamson goes to sort of play a sort of front foot drive, and he ends up just sort of swatting the ball along the ground, and dot ball it is. So just 4 off the over. It's taken a the pace has really been taken out of the game here with Mishra coming on. It's gone very, very slow, and you can kind of think, actually, I know they're all debating it on Facebook Live, and we do welcome your comments on Facebook Live. Actually, I thought this game was Sunrisers in their bag, but actually Delhi Capitals are looking like they might do this.
Maybe that's what Mohammad Abdul Hamid was saying. DC what? As in DC, what on earth are you doing? Rafiq Abidi Rafiq says, hi. Mohammad Hala says, hi. Amar Baisal says, where are you live from, sir? We're live from London.
From the mighty Sidderman. Chemo Paul comes in, first ball of the over. Oh, well, we could have an opportunity. We think this might be a run out, actually. Warner coming back, and he's taking his gloves off. That's we'll bring that back to you. Definitely got one run here.
Warner doesn't seem too concerned. He's just doing a little bit of gardening and a bit of a glove punch between he and Kane Williamson. He's in. Direct hit might have been close, but Paul had to take the throw and gather. He's in by quite a way in the end.
Yeah, he is.
While we wait for the official decision, Short Third Man has retweeted and said, look who is a Game of Thrones fan. One at Cheteshwar Pujara.
Sure. He and several billion other people.
Mm-hmm. And Steve, as they call him up in Yorkshire, tweeted, anyone waking up at 6:30 a.m. tomorrow for Game of Thrones Season 8? Because I am.
Yes, because apparently a 3-syllable name is too long and foreign for the Yorkshire people to bother learning.
Yes.
Amen. Preach, brother, preach.
I say this as a Yorkshire fan.
I was going to ask, there was a lot of Yorkshire stats coming out earlier. Are you a Yorkshire fan? But there you go. Anyway, the second ball of the over just goes straight through to Pant, the wicket keeper. Sunrisers 78 for 1 off 11.2 overs. There's some lovely formation dancing going on in the crowd and some lovely advertising that goes with the formation dancing. So I'm not going to read out what your product is, but well done on the dancing and the good sprinkler.
I've got to ask the people in those red t-shirts what exactly they're advertising, because
it's a food stuff.
I was going to say that suggests to me a kind of cat treat. Cat food thing.
And Paul comes back in, bowls his third ball, and Williamson just bats it back straight back into the ground. I mean, Williamson is 3 runs off 7 balls so far. He looks a little bit frustrated. Just kind of think actually is sort of.
Well, he's just missed out on a full toss, hasn't he?
Yeah.
There was a bit of criticism before the IPL last year. Simon Dool, in particular, the New Zealand commentator, was saying that Kane Williamson shouldn't be in the New Zealand T20 team. He had struggled a little bit, but then he had a brilliant IPL last year. Yeah, Dooley talk now. Oh, well caught.
What a absolute cracking catch there. Who took that?
That's KG Rabada.
Rabada, mate. Hello. We've got an umpire doing some sort of crazy dancing, but it looks like a wicket. I think they're just
I wonder if that was a bump ball. It was very, very close.
He's doing the security outside Yates's wine lodge on a Friday night.
This could be a no ball. Hang on a second. It did look like he was doing security outside Yates's wine lodge. Name's not down, not coming in. And whoa!
I think the heel landed first. I think that should be all right. It was a back of the hand slower ball, very well disguised. It's certainly not a bump ball. I don't know where my mind is playing tricks on me. Scooped up in the air by Kane Williamson, and KG Rabada did brilliantly to come round to his right and take the catch a few inches off the ground. Kane Williamson is gone 3 off 8, and the Sunrisers really are going nowhere slowly.
There's some worried looking faces there in the Sunrisers Hyderabad.
Caught Rabada bold pulls, got rid of both the Sunrisers wickets to fall.
Horace J. Grover, who says, people's positions have changed. I fear change. I also still have no idea what Jamie's t-shirt looks like, but it looks like it. Well, it is. I don't know if the camera can see it, but it is a Rainbow Rising tour t-shirt. So the original graphic is from the 1976 Rising album.
As in Rainbow Since You've Been Gone?
Yes.
But what a tune.
That was the Graham Bonnet era, which came after the Ronnie James Dio era.
Anyway, we are back with the cricket. We will come back to Rainbow Since You've Been Gone. That's a wide ball there.
Hanu Thapa saying out. Arpan Chakraborty is slightly annoyed. I think we've called the legitimacy of Kane Williamson's bowling action into question in the jingle, but he's had issues with it in the past. The new Sunrisers player playing just his second IPL game, and didn't really get much of a chance last year, because I think actually he didn't bat in the one game he played last year.
The story of Ricky
Is Ricky Bowie.
And second to last ball of the over, Bowie just plots it back to Kagisa Rabada. Kagisa Rabada's doing some very strange movements, looking like he wants to have some food. Can someone get a quick bit of food down to a Rabada, or whether he's having to go to someone just...
Hyderabad is the home of biryani, so I couldn't blame him.
That's a very odd sort of movement to say, I would like some quick bit of food. Anyway, final ball of the over. We see Bowie going down towards third man. He takes a single there. The score is 81 for 2. And it's I have to say, it's kind of losing its way, really, isn't it? This Sunrisers Hyderabad innings, is sort of distance off. We're cracking random jokes. We need a bit of electricity, a bit of excitement.
It needs an injection of pace, and I think this is, at the moment, they're just playing into Delhi Capital's hands a little bit. Yeah. It's going to end up in a stage where they just have to swing blindly at the end, and sometimes it comes off, but they don't have Andre Russell or anyone of that ilk.
No, it's going to be, I have to say, if I was a betting woman, which I'm not, but I would go for the Delhi Capitals at this stage. You just sort of feel
my money is still my theoretical money would be just about on the Sunrisers from here. Just because I don't think it takes that much for them to get ahead of the rate from here and one or two good innings, maybe one good innings really.
So, well, there you go. Sorry, I'm having a bit of a blonde spell there. So 2 runs to breathe there. They need 74 runs to win of 47 balls. I have to say, I'm still back in Delhi Capitals here. I don't know, just...
I can see why. I mean, 74 or 47 with 8 wickets in hand should not be an issue.
You say that.
It should be definitely achievable by a team that has pretensions to win the IPL.
Well, yeah, but it's... Oh, my...
Oh, beautiful.
So it just cut backward there, so Mishra's second ball comes back. Oh, I thought it was going towards the boundary, but it's just saved there. Lots of confusion there, lots of shrugging there by Mishra. Just 2 runs off it.
It's a lovely googly, and he can't believe that didn't hit the stumps.
Score is 84 for 2. Yeah, I'm absolutely amazed. It kind of turned back in, and you're thinking that was going to knock all stumps flying there.
I think actually the inside edge saved him. It's a lovely googly from Amit Mishra.